Yep, there's been an update. But what I said, I was going to come back if there's an update, if there's more information coming out. But let's get on to it.
Now to new details on the shooting at Joel Osteen's Megachurch. Officials have identified the woman who opened fire before being killed by law enforcement. And they now say the 7-year-old boy injured in the shooting was her son. Maria Villarreal has the latest.
This morning, new video reveals the terrifying scene inside Joel Osteen's Houston megachurch, Lakewood, during a shooting rampage that wounded 2. The shooter, who was killed inside the church, is now identified as 36-year-old Genesis Moreno. She brought her 7-year-old biological son with her Sunday. Police say it's unclear who shot the boy, but confirmed he sustained a severe head wound. Parishioners seen trying to escape and screaming in terror. Gunshots going off just as a Spanish service was about to begin at Osteen's church, home to one of the largest congregations in the U.S.
She immediately starts firing inside of the hallway. Multiple rounds are fired by her, at which point Officer Moreno of the Houston Police Department, as well as TABC Agent Herrera, return fire. She eventually falls to the ground. The 7-year-old child falls to the ground as well from gunfire.
2 weapons were recovered at the scene, including an AR-15. Anti-Semitic writings were found on the shooter.
There was a sticker on the buttstock of the rifle that stated Palestine.
Authorities say one of the weapons was bought legally in December. The shooter obtaining the guns despite her history of mental illness and arrest dating back to 2005 on charges including assault. Houston's police chief directly told me that they are now aware of the shooter's mental health history and they are delving into it. But when we pressed the FBI about how this person with a criminal background like this could have gotten a hold of not just 1, but 2 guns, they sidestepped that question and said that is part of the larger investigation. Robin?
Folks, what answers, Maria? Thank you.
Man, so much to unpack in this. So, from all the research I gathered, everything that led up to that point, turns out she was going through both a divorce and a custody battle. Why am I not surprised? And what's more, the motive is still unclear. We have yet to hear the motive yet. But from what we all gathered, Genesis Moreno clearly is dealing with mental problems here. I mean, at first they thought it was about her being pro-Palestine and having anti-Semitic writings, even going as far as to point out that her mother-in-law is a rabbi, but according to her mother-in-law, that wasn't the motive. That was not the motive of the reason why she went on that mass shooting. And surprise enough, a certain coward who's supposed to be all about pro-Israel is completely silenced on this matter. Oh, that's right. He's silenced. He's quiet because this is a woman that went on a mass shooting, not a man. Other words, he'll be blowing up the YouTube streets with the bullshit. But I digress. So apparently she went to Joe Osteen's megachurch, firing several rounds until 2 off-duty police officers shot and killed her, as well as one of the officers shot her son with a head wound. I mean, and hearing that, all I could think about it is this: was she Was she using her son as a shield? No, was she using her son as a human shield? In fact, when the ex-husband was interviewed, he was concerned about the safety and well-being of his son. So all I could say is this, and this is just my conclusion. It's obvious she was trying to get herself killed as well as her son. However, she died. Her son's in critical condition. And I pray for the son, to have a speedy recovery. You know what I mean? This shit is crazy as fuck. And the fact that she's a female mass shooter, this completely destroys all the propaganda. All the propaganda, all the conspiracy theories here. Now everybody is down to the point of understanding that to where there is no specifics when it comes to a mass shooter. Yeah, I believe I said this shit before. Mass shooters are not factored by the following: race, gender, sexuality, creed, nationality, culture, nor political viewpoint. If a person is unstable to a point to where they are a harm to themselves as well as other people, that's what everybody should pay close attention to. Not all this bullshit. These men go on mass shootings. These men go on mass shootings. Women go on mass shootings too. In fact, that's been documented and that's been brought to the forefront. Only whites go on mass shootings. She's not white. She's Latino. Or I think she might be Palestinian, but sounds to me like she is Hispanic. Most of the mass shooters are far right-wing conservative, but yet this is a far left liberal. Anything and everything these motherfuckers claim these mass shooters are, they are completely silent when the exact opposite happened. And this is a fucking trip. But what I really find a trip out of everything else is they known her mental illness. In fact, if you heard the news, they've been known about this as well as her criminal history. But yet somehow she was still able to buy a fucking gun? They know all about her history, but yet she was still allowed to go on with this shit. And to think, you got all this, if you see something, say something bull crap, but yet they see what's happening, they know what's happening, but yet, and if they say something about it, But even if they say something about the shit, they still let it happen. Y'all notice that pattern? I noticed the pattern. A few others noticed the pattern. And shout out to True Sherm as well, because he broke this shit down in pure detail. I'll leave the link to his video in the comments section, so y'all can go check it out, as well as my last video regarding this subject. And at this point, no one can tell me shit anymore. I don't want to hear no shit about, oh, straight white men go on mass shootings. Oh, men are terrorists and all this type of shit. Because this female right here and all the other females that did the exact same shit completely debunks the argument completely. All this stemming from a custody battle. And for those of y'all who've been paying close attention to my videos in regards to these females killing, murdering, or attempted murdering, all stemming from custody battles, this right here is no exception to the rule. But the question I got to ask is, why target a church full of people that had nothing to do with that clearly had nothing to do with her own fucking problems? Is beyond me. And what's worse, she put her own son in danger all because of it. That really makes me sick to the stomach. I just don't know what to say about this shit, man. But you got all these retarded fucks want to look at men as terrorists. Guess what, bitches? Women can be terrorists too. And it doesn't matter how much you try, and no matter how much they try to write it off, or ignore it, or pretend that it's nothing more than just a bad dream. This shit exists, whether y'all retarded fucks like it or not. If men can be terrorists, so can women. There is no fucking exception to the goddamn rules. And as I say before, I'm no longer trying to hear all that other bullshit. No one's trying to hear all this other bullshit. Men can go on mass shootings, women can go on mass shootings, children can go on mass shootings, even the alphabet group are known to go on mass shootings. Everybody's a fucking killer. No exceptions. And with that, I said what I had to say. I'm done with this matter, and I'm out this bitch. Later.